everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And just to find this particular discussion is especially for the ladies because it is International Women's Day, and so we'll be sharing our thoughts on the subject matter tagged building and sustaining valuable female friendships. So I have my sisters here, my friends, to be sharing alongside. We'll be discussing on this matter. Okay, can we meet you?
Alright, I'm pleased, man. And it's a privilege.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And you?
I'm Precious Show, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for coming along. All right. So, can we just have a basic definition of what friendship is? Now, this subject is very crucial because it appears that both in the kingdom and I mean in church setting now and in the corporate setting now, at the workplace, it feels like females get more comfortable with the opposite sex, which is like female male. And of course, there's a place for that. Maybe we can have a video on that later. Platonic friendships, and they find it hard to maintain a smooth friendship with their fellow females because they are different shape. There's this assumption of there will be jealousy, envy, competition, and all of those things that goes on. And so even deep issues, they rather share males. If you are used to campus fellowships, for example, if you are being a leader, then you see men of this father where they don't want to talk to you, just prefer the males. And I don't know why is that so, but I just believe that we can change the narrative, both in the context of the kingdom, the church, and also corporate world, where we can have sustainable, valuable, impactful, same-sex, that's female friendship. So, but before we go right into the topic, can you just help us with a basic definition of friendship?
Friendship is actually intentional relationships geared towards gaining value, exchanging value. You should not just gain, you should be exchanging. I give and you give. That's a give and take system. So it should be that way. So
all right, and of course, most times they're bonded together by shared interests, shared experiences,
common beliefs, belief systems, principles, and even convictions.
Yes. But does this to say that you will always agree with your friends on anything? Like, you always have the same mindset on all issues?
I think it has to do with the major core values.
Yes.
Not on everything, like the style of hair, the style of this,
right.
Just ephemeral things.
But major values of life,
yes. Like your belief. I mean, you believe in God.
Yes, you can't go
through Jesus Christ.
Yeah, actually.
That's one core value. So.
And it's not saying you cannot relate to any other person, say that you believe in. But when it comes to your deep friendships, close friendships, people that there has to be people that for cohesion's sake, for agreement, like we have to say can two work together and they agree. And it's not just in marriage like we always use it, but even in friendship, there has to be agreement on the major issues, as it were, or major values of life. Alright, so do you want to talk to us why you need friends and maybe the levels you think exist in the relation? Why do we need friends? Because there are people that feel like I'm okay with my life. I don't need friends complicate matters. And a lot of things when we're growing up too, especially when you're about to get admission to the university, our parents will say things like, "Mark Corel," meaning don't spark friends and don't make friends.
Yes.
Although we understand their concept. Their concept is basically maybe don't make bad friends or don't let friends influence you wrongly. Because come to think of it, on a lighter note, when is your communication period? You'll not be asking, where are your friends now? The rice swap. The young where your friends? And when you are going in, they said,
exactly. It also relates to growing up as a girl in a Christian home.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor's kid. So they usually say, don't have boyfriend. So now get to an age where they're like, wait, what's happening? Like, you said we shouldn't, have that kind of relationship that is supposed to build up to, the marriage. But we understand now.
You actually understand everything that
then didn't need it actually. That's why they were always
time for everything.
Don't have boyfriend and all. So
So why do we need friends? For the case of people feel like I can survive life all alone, or people who, why do we need it? What is the essence? Can't I just live on my own?
Well, the truth is, people have different mindsets to this stage. We need friends we need friends to go on the journey of life, because life in itself is a journey. So it's important that we have those people that have our back, those people that have our best interest in mind, those people that do not only love us when we achieve, but love us for who we are.
You really are, yes.
Yeah. So we need those kind of people, and those are the kind of people that we should look at. That's why usually they say if you rise high in life, and you don't have
You've not built solid friendship, you don't live there.
You've not built solid, and at that point, people just come around
Just for what they see.
Yeah.
Just your
For
glamour
obvious
face
reasons.
is just the one attract. So you can't really tell they are related. But
Exactly.
people who had seen you when you were nothing in quote,
Yeah.
or have been the partaker, shared in your pain, your struggles in quote. Like Jesus was saying, if you suffer with me, you'll be glorified with me.
Yeah.
They've seen they will tend to honor or respect. I don't know how to put it. Your process, they are just more committed,
Yes.
more trustworthy
Mhm.
compared to people that just came from nowhere. You can't truly tell people's true motive once you have gotten to that peak. And then I believe also that man was created to be relational being. Yes, we're not just created to survive alone, which was why God had to ensure that we began to multiply, to be alone. So, and in this context, male and female, we are not just designed. And I know sometimes, like you were saying behind the scene, that sometimes temperament, personality informs this ideology of, and maybe because of bad experiences people have had. Because someone like me to have seen certain negative effect on friendships that at some point in my life, I think I started out more being introverted. And I really think, like you said, self-sustaining, there are a lot of things I'm fine on my own. I don't really. You see, sometimes when you don't come into certain things, you will not see what you're missing out on. Now, why those systems were beneficial in two sense, it also has its own disadvantage that I later realized when the Lord began to give me valuable friendships. So sometimes you think, it's temperament, personality, and sometimes just this independent mindset. And some of us actually is just, I don't want to say ignorance, but this thing of, I don't like to discover anybody. I don't like anybody in my space. There's this fear of vulnerability. There's this fear of I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be disappointed. People will not respect me when they see me. And that's what we talk about, the virtues that should be in place. When you have known too much about me, there's is it say familiarity brings content. That's the correct thing. When they see me finish, you'll not begin to see me finish in quotes, means disrespect, or knows too much about me. They will not respect me anymore. Maybe you've heard stories of friendships that did not end well, or sometimes even the movies you've watched, or you've experienced one. And I think we need to begin to project that we can have really valuable, solid friendships that doesn't have to be filled with all the things projected in movies. Those things happen anyway, and that's why you have to be watched and choosing. We've told you what you define your friendship to be, shared mutual interests, belief, and all of that. So you don't jump on just every regular available person and just tag them easily as friends. It's not a tag that should throw.
Yes, speaking about that also, I think that's why it's important to understand the different levels of friendship. Owing to the fact that usually when people come into your life, they come in as strangers. That's the first level. So everyone is first a stranger before you get familiar with the person. Then they move to acquaintance, and from the acquaintance stage where you just probably know each other's face, you probably know each other's first name, and then that's where
each other.
you
You
just
have been colleagues at work,
yeah,
schoolmates,
or classmates,
neighbors,
and then you move to casual friendship. This is on the surface level where you know some details about the person, but nothing too deep. Right, and then we'll now move to close friendship. But the thing is, at the point when you're moving from the casual friendship to the close friendship, there has to be some sort of verbal acknowledgement, verbal communication, not anything mechanical.
Yes, I was saying that sometimes it's not just verbal; there are also actions. Love is in action.
Exactly.
If you don't, you can. There are people who can talk from now to tomorrow, they don't have any action. And the real value of something is when you can put it into action, whatever you have said. So I feel that aside the verbal, there should be a back of action.
Yes.
Sure. If you see someone is committed in reaching out to you when you are at your lowest, maybe your family lost someone and the person is always there, or maybe you guys have a naming and the person is always there. That's already
Showing
an
up.
unspoken commitment that the person is making to you, that it's no longer a casual friendship again. I'm taking it to a whole another level. So,
But they still need to also mention it. So you don't assume. You may be showing up now because in your mind you feel like, okay, I'm close to this person. And this is the person you are not yet close to.
Oh, the other
And they
person
might
is
disappointed.
relationship.
And they just feel you just love, maybe just the love of Christ, just brethren.
Yeah.
Or maybe just
Oh, yeah, let's
that type of thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's actually needed to discuss that. The fact that you talk to somebody every now and then, or it doesn't necessarily mean they see you in the light of maybe close friendship.
Oh yes, oh yes.
But it's
That's why
necessary.
there has to be like a sort of
A
communication.
defined, yes. I think friendship has to be built on mutual agreements.
Exactly.
And whatever level your friendship is, it should be on. You must know. You should not be looking at yourself as best friend and the person seeing you as, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
I think
as
sometimes what happens is okay, in a situation where, both of us are friends, and then in our communication, you've poured out your heart more to me, and I'm more of a listener. There's a tendency that you feel I am your friend.
You feel close.
You feel close to
I
me.
can relate.
Yes, that happens a lot. So I feel that's why sometimes people already put that tag like, oh, or if you meet a giver. If you meet a giver and this person is just naturally gives, naturally cares for people, anyone coming around that person's space that doesn't really, calm down to also give back, calm down to also listen, will just quickly tag the person as, oh, this person is my best friend. Not knowing that to the person.
It's just being him.
It's just being
or her.
Or to the person, you're probably like a casual friend. But to you, the person is your best friend already.
Because they're giving and that's
just
just them.
exactly, you feel so loved based on what the person is doing. You're feeling so loved and all, but you've not yet given back that the person feels that loved.
In return, so now establish
that exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I buy you.
What about conditions?
I think
Actions, like you say.
I think also that even when it gets to destiny relationships, some people have they discern you earlier than you might discern them.
Yes, actually, yes, that's powerful.
And I feel we should just give
Room.
time
For people to
everybody-
catch up with the revelation you have.
So if you are putting in much energy in the action and you're not seeing the same energy coming back to you, just give
the time. That's true.
Time. But it's important that the other person that is receiving doesn't tag it fast, because it can put the other person off. Okay, the person that is receiving, it's important that the person doesn't. I think it's that tag we're really talking about, like the tagging of putting the tag on it fast. Oh, you're my best friend. Because a lot of people called me their best friend, but I didn't feel like well. Because I remember my dad when I was going to university told me that we have like that. It's like a grace to just be givers. That a lot of people will call you their friend, and they told me choose your friend. So that's also another thing.
Your friends choose you.
Exactly. Friendship is like choice. It's not everybody choosing you, and you have to still choose from a number of people that love you.
So what she's saying is that before you tag, you must wait for the other person to come to agreement with what you are saying. To what you're receiving. You can just see someone and just say, or you just know that we have something to do together in future. Or this person is crucial to my life journey. And this person is on his own life. He does not see you in that life yet at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but you keep doing your acts of love and everything till the person comes up to that
Without actually tagging it in public.
Public,
Let's tag
yes.
it privately. Say, why do you tag it in public? You go private.
I don't understand. You know, they're having unnecessary heartbreak.
Yeah.
And she treated me this way. And I think also when we are going to find a sense of, I don't know what to call it, I don't want to use the word self-esteem. Self-worth, in quotes. Like sometimes people draw their worth from being tagged with somebody.
Yes, so much.
Being tagged with someone. So for example, now sometimes you can admire someone doing in a field, and maybe you're privileged to have access to that person. You just quickly want to just jump at that person, make it tag is my friend. Just step by step.
Yeah. It's an esteem.
It's an esteem issue because you are drawing your worth.
You are trying to
from that person.
You are trying to cover it. Like Adam and Eve, when they were naked, they took leaves to cover up their neck. You are trying to cover it up.
Actually, not giving it time to see that, okay, you are investing in it, then with time, the other person to say, okay, you are serious about this thing, okay, can we both together move? Sometimes it happens spoken, sometimes it happens unspoken. Like, both of us in being my friend or something. I think it's the only person that did that. We did it, I don't understand. I don't know, I'm not anybody, can we be friends? Be friends? I don't know, I'm not sure, I can't recall.
No,
it just happened, it just everybody that is like in my close space as friends. I'm not so sure.
So it's good that you asked this question, because I think
I'm not even enter the main topic. This is the introduction.
Right.
Alright,
so but in acknowledging that, I mean, in that transition between casual friendship to close friendship, before we now get to destiny friendship, soulmates, and then and all, I think sometimes it doesn't, as I mentioned behind the scene, that it doesn't necessarily need to be mechanical, like now we are now becoming close friends. So these are the things. I think that's to do it. Just in your
conversations,
your conversations. You start talking about things that you like and things that you value. A lot of times we have discussions about our shared belief about some particular aspect of things, about female friendship, about the way to relate with elderly, about this and that and all. And then we saw that, oh, okay, there was a convergence, there was a nexus where we actually, shared this belief together. So those are the things. And also about personality. Oh, I like this. These are the things I do not like. These are the things like all these other different. So
So it doesn't have to be mechanical. Yeah, actually get those things, and it's more, it surprises me. So she told those questions. I love you, Madison. Can I be your friend? And in my head, I don't know the response to give. So I'm like, this is the way it just work. Like, I mean, people that I even see daily that relate with, we are more like, it's always strange to me.
Maybe
can I be your friend?
Maybe to help anyone that maybe doesn't have a better way of doing that. Let us look at David and Jonathan. Jonathan had more like his heart was knitted together with David, seeing him already, right? And then Jonathan did something. He gave him his bow, he gave him his sword, he gave him this, he gave him that. So instead of, if he didn't have that, he would have said, "Can I be your friend?" But instead, he showed it. He said, "See, you're important to me. I love you so much, and you know what? That alone, that act of giving, God so loved the world and He gave. You want to be someone's friend? Invest. Don't just
be tagging along, tagging my friend. I am not putting in the work. It has to be that valuable friendship is what we're calling it. And I think that's okay.
I want to say, I listened to, I think it was Pastor Jimmy. He said, most times, if you want to befriend someone, find out the person's need. And meet the
area of interest.
When you meet the need, like for example, okay, you are Pastor Faith, you're organizing a program, and someone wants to be your friend. Volunteer for her program. Just getting there alone and being active on that platform, she will just, if you come on that platform, she will to give a listening ear. Other than just coming randomly.
That's very right.
Saying that I want to be your
friend. I know the same thing happened with mental and mentorship mission, but we're not going to discuss that here too. Like you just let's even go there because that's one of the things I want to talk about. So let's go there. So I think we'll be able to discuss about why you need friends, because it's actually crucial. You're not designed to survive alone, to thrive. I know one powerful thing I've seen that friendship has here, for personal experience, that there are things about you don't know. That someone else has seen it. Your tendency is negative light in quotes, or weakness that you may not know because you are always on your own, and your possibilities, like good things about you that you don't even know you have, or maybe you're not paying attention to it, you don't think it's anything that matters, but in the process of interacting with somebody entering your space, they're able to point it out to you that see, you can work on this. Oh, you are weak here, you can do better. Okay, this is strength. Can't you develop it? But if it's always you think you are the most perfect person on earth.
And Bible says iron sharpens iron. You can't sharpen yourself.
Exactly.
Another person will sharpen because they see you. They're in the best position to tell you that this place you work for this and so we need to interact.
And I think that the fear of many people don't want somebody to just get into them, maybe to correct them. It's something that keep people back. Like they don't want corrections, they don't want all of this. Because once friendship, if you cannot correct each other, you cannot
correct each other in love,
obviously, definitely, because everybody's ability one another to grow. You can be strong and that type of thing, just supplying. So these are, do you have any other reason for friendship? Many other reasons, but basically we just did it in life. And
there's I think for anybody out there that feels like, okay, maybe I don't need someone at all. If your prosperity is important to you, you need people. Yes, because it's very, very crucial. Then it's not even only in that aspect. We need, even in the kingdom, we need people that will be there for us, but in the evil day. We need people that will be there for us in the evil day, because the evil day is promised to come. So people that will be able to stand for you, people that will be able to pray with you, and all. Yeah, so that's, there are a lot of reasons why solid friendship, valuable friendships are important to us, but these are just a few.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Thank you for this powerful contributions, and I believe somebody's learning already. Let's know which points stood up for you in the just concluded discussion. So straight up, how do we then build and sustain this friendship? How do we build and sustain friendship? We've already said when you maybe have interest in somebody, if you have, we've already spoken about how you can connect to that person, but how do we now build and sustain valuable friendships? And I think the first thing is that our friends must show the same friend. I think it's most times I always focus on the first part, not thinking of ourselves.
Yeah.
What do you have to bring yourself? What value do you even have that you want to bring?
Yeah.
Before you seek a valuable friendship, you have to
Very important.
be emotional. So it starts with the self-work first.
Yeah.
Because the truth is friendship is work, but look to put it just the way it is with marriage and every kind of relationship. Any friendship that will stay, and I think in our generation we really need lasting, close, godly friendships. At least it doesn't have to be it's not necessarily about the whole numbers. While we should have relationships across border, across different levels of, but we should still have those that are into us, like in our space that we have sustained over time. It's not like you fight with everybody, you give this one, you go that you keep breaking from what really friendships are not.
Even in respect to that, I feel like if relationships are not working and you have issues with everybody, I think it's important to check yourself.
Yourself, yes. Everybody cannot. Not everybody will be always wrong. You also have a wrong that.
Yeah, it's
that is
important.
Now, on
very-
a lighter note, I was speaking to a brother. Sorry, it's a sister, but I just want to give an example. And the brother was like, "Do you know how many relationships I've been in? About 20 relationships." And I'm like, "It's not something to be proud of. Check yourself.
There's an issue.
It's just go in and he kept on saying,
And
most relationships don't last for more than 3 months." And I'm like, you shouldn't be proud of this. So
And that's the thing. People, we always say under this umbrella. Of course, some relationships, including friendships, are for a season, and some is for a lifetime. So, as much as that is actually a solid thing, people always hide under the umbrella to break out of relationship. And it was just for a season. The season is over. Even when it is not yet over, but because it was either your willingness to work or your unwillingness to, definitely to work on yourself to become better. But then before we even go into this bit, why do you think female find, okay, I've already mentioned to do, why do we find it easy to connect with males easily than with fellow females in close friendships? Why does it look like, why
That's
does it
a psychological thing, but it's also something that comes naturally based on the male-female attraction.
yeah.
Before I started even making friendships with kingdom ladies and all and everything, I discovered that it's not all female friendships that have this. It has to do with the individual. This we are talking about now is this spirit of what
jealousy,
jealousy,
competition?
right?
Just to interject what you're saying, I feel it goes down to parenting. Because most times in a home where you have females and males and the sisters are sharing rooms, you see they're always fighting. Honestly. But then most, not all, most. But in families where it is that the parents deal with it, those people have a healthy. So I feel that it is down, it's raised from foundational problem.
Yeah.
That if all of us will be parents someday, and if we
Absolutely.
can work on if we can work on it on that, we are helping a whole lot generation. Because you see, sisters cannot sleep in the same room because they keep on fighting, but she would prefer to go and sleep with her brother in the brother's room.
Well, that wasn't the case for me, Sha, because I grew up between two boys, so I was always fighting with them. And my younger sister was very younger than me, so I didn't really fight with that person. But I understand what you're saying. Everything goes down to parenting. Everything goes down to the home at the end of the day. Whatever it is we see in society now, we can trace it to the home. So yes, in that aspect, yes, parents can help curb this by just teaching children loftier values of life, understanding honor. Maybe that's one thing that is missing with female mentorship and understanding honor. When you as a person, you've come to take honor as a value in life, that I honor all men, I owe all men honor. Then whether the person is a female, whether the person is a male, you, as long as you relate to that person with honor and respect, you get it back.
Yes.
You get it back.
It's reciprocal.
Exactly.
And
So
I think also they used to feel like men have some level of empathy to their issues, especially because of emotional issues. and that's why many ladies have got into the act of abusive men who took advantage of them. Because you're always the things that she easily tell if you just listen, you don't understand better. And then if it's not a godly man and a kingdom oriented man, and something that God has worked on him, it's become a story that touched the heart. So, but anyway, the truth is there, you can choose to change the narrative. You are good. If you actually be a kingdom person, like really, we've been bought by the blood of Jesus and bonded together by his love. So we can make all things, work together. Alright, so some of the virtues needed to build and to sustain, a relationship or female friendship that basis on this communication.
Yes. A lot of discussions have gone around communication, everywhere. I know everybody knows communication is key, I know. But in respect to building valuable friendship and deep friendship, It doesn't have to just be communication on the surface level. Yeah, it has to be deep communication. Talking about those things that are nerve wracking, those things that are not easy to talk about. Okay, so I was giving an example of a situation where yourself and your friend that you're just getting to know, whether it's an old friend or a new friend, whatever, yourself and your friend, you're in a social gathering. And then it just so happens that discussions happen and the person says something that makes you feel somehow, that makes you feel exactly, or belittled or something. And the person was just joking, maybe joking about something you told the person in private. So now, what do you do? This is where the never ending conversation comes in. When you guys leave that setting now, it's important to bring it up, but we've also learned that it's not really about what you say, but how you say it. And it has to be in a mood where both of you are just chilled. Maybe you're just having a good time, or maybe you're just watching a movie, or just doing whatever it is that is relaxing. And then you bring it up like, the other day that you mentioned this, and it actually made me feel somehow, and I'll appreciate it next time if you don't feel it. And then it's important that we have reason. If the person is really so we have to mention that the person will be like, oh really, I didn't really make you feel me, I was just joking, I'm sorry. And then the person knows not to do that next time. But if in a situation where you sweep that under the carpet and you keep sweeping it under the carpet, and the person does this, you sweep it, and then at some point you just feel like
there'll be an outburst.
exactly. That usually causes those kind of things. So those kind of conversations, letting the person really know your value, explaining it, like don't. And one thing that is crucial in friendship, vulnerability. You have to be ready to be vulnerable to bring up those kind of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't have sophisticated around those are destiny friends.
Exactly.
So you mentioned sacrifice earlier. So
It's very important. You can't. There's practically no way you can have a lasting relationship without sacrifice.
Oh yes.
Jesus even showed it to us by coming to die for us, because he wanted something everlasting life. He wanted to give us everlasting life. So he came to show us, to model what we should live by. So we must learn to, you don't just take and do sacrifice. Go out of your comfort zone for that person.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it goes a lot. It tells a lot to the person. Like, I mean so much to this, but for this person to have gone this extra mile for me.
It's not just me giving it. It's a shared whatever.
So sacrifice is important. Sacrifice of time, sacrifice of listening, sacrifice of even money. It might not be much, but the
knowledge, skills.
Yes.
The things you can use to help the person.
So much.
Getting involved in their life and even the things they do.
I think supporting their vision.
Oh my God.
That's
it.
Yes. Maybe people support their on another level. Because it's not easy to find someone who will believe in your vision and then support it.
So people just want to hang around you and just, you don't want to be invested, you don't want to, help you. You can be better in your maybe career skill.
Yeah.
You don't have to take this course. Okay, I saw a job opportunity. Okay, what can I do to aid your meetings? But I'm very confident of you. I'm better to mention their names now. Anyway, that's it. Like really, no. Like they will think I just that I also have to give back. Like it's not like you are trying to abuse someone.
Exactly. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Exactly. Then you mentioned sacrifice, and you also give the example of Jesus Christ and the sacrifice on the cross and all the things he went through for us. So a couple of months ago, I was just thinking about this thing about sacrifice and friendship. You know how sometimes people make sacrifices, but they don't. This can be put into context now, but they don't communicate what it costs them. So the example of Jesus came to mind. One of my mentees, she was trying to explain how she feels like people are not worth it because they have been giving so much, and everything. So I was just trying to think about what the situation was. And I discovered that one of the problems she had was making sacrifices and not letting the other person even have a clue of what it cost her. I was not thinking that if Jesus had done what it is he did, and I was like, you know what? I don't really want to burden these people with so that they don't feel indebted. Let me just leave them. And everything he did was not captured in the Bible. How are we going to understand that love?
Yeah, preaching. Honestly.
No, but it's important to also
Yeah.
put a
But
balance.
she put the balance because
Exactly.
the point she said she will go. I don't know.
Exactly, no, I
But now
put
say
the balance.
this is what she did. They're not trying to, I don't know.
Yes,
So they have to
yes,
pay, but I get the point.
yes. And so the balance can be in such, it depends on the person's like
The context of
the context.
sacrifice
Yeah.
made.
Example, someone is on the sick bed and needs a lot of things. It's not then that you tell the person that I took out my savings, I took out my back
You can just do some other time in the midst of
some other time. In short, it's not even going to come as you want to let the person know. If you guys are really friends, it will come up. Maybe the person is even asking like, oh, guy, you were saving, you be like, that time you were sick, that was when. And this is like really, but it's not that you keep it so much. It's even supposed to be a flow. You're like, no, I must not say it. Like, Shele. Because people need to know this thing.
But the flip side is
The
that.
most painful thing is when people trample on the sacrifice.
That's what I want to say. That the flip side is that we should position ourselves that no sacrifice is little.
Yes.
We should position ourselves in such a way that
Yes.
anything done is appreciated.
Yes.
And not just I appreciate it in my mind. I appreciate it in your words and in your actions.
Actions. Little children, they don't just look at words, but in actions.
For example, this basic important because sometimes I think another thing, even this issue of love language is working friendships too.
Yeah.
Maybe now, me, I feel like, oh, this word is very beautiful. On this direction, she love it. I gave it to her. Maybe she doesn't necessarily like it. It's not that I should. Me, I don't like it. What's your advice for me? You are
That's
not
like
appreciate. You basically appreciate who bought it. Maybe later in this conversation. That's why they just start listening to maybe I don't used to like pink stuff. Or the color, or maybe I don't really fancy, something like that. And that's why even in friendship, you pay attention to what your friends like, sometimes stylishly has. Now, and the matter of throwing surprises. I love to be surprised and I love to surprise. But I realize that sometimes my surprises don't end up well. So now I'm not learning to always ask. Because me now, in my head, I've done something so magnificent and the person is thinking like, so they have learned that either direct or indirect, I'm going to ask. Before I can waste my money or time to
Very
a
important.
surprise that will not surprise you or that you don't appreciate.
Yeah, very important.
So and so sacrifice, love is very important. And like you said earlier, mutual honor and respect. The fact that you know the person's
That's very
secret in quote, weakness in quote, background, there's not enough reason to not begin to act dishonorably, And so can you just give us a final word?
All right. Basically, I would just say that I'll talk on the part of sustaining relationship. You should learn to honor one another. In that when you finally succeed in making the right relationship, learn to honor. We should not have an entitlement mentality. That the fact that I've known you over time, I'm supposed to have these from you. We should learn to appreciate whatever little gesture the person who is your friend makes towards you. Learn to appreciate. That goes a long way to reduce friction in relationships.
Wow, thank you so much, Mark. And you?
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am. So there is a poem that someone wrote. It said, I went out to look for a friend, but I couldn't find any. I went out to be a friend, and there were many friends. So when it comes to friendship and relationships, it starts with us. It starts with you. And it's important to ask ourselves one question. If I had a replica of myself in the world, would I be satisfied as a friend? Meaning, am I a good friend in myself? And it's important to answer this question very honestly. Am I a good friend? What are the benefits that my present friends, what do they benefit being my friend? Am I usually there for people when they need me? And also, that's
Are you there to share their choice too?
Are you there to
Because
share their
sometimes
choice?
it's easy to empathize with people, maybe they are downtime, I would say them cry with them, but that's not that trueness of a true friend. When you are happy, they are happy.
You are genuinely
Yeah,
happy for your
genuinely,
friend's
like, very
success.
important.
Exactly.
Not faking it or not like I wish it was me,
Yeah. And I think one thing that might help people with that is because sometimes if you don't have the right perspective about your own inheritance, I mean in Christ, you understand, it's always hard to be happy for someone else because you're already thinking, oh, what about me and all. As long as you know that you are already settled. You understand? You might not have the physical manifestation yet of a lot of things happening for you, but it's important to be happy and rejoice with the next person. And even if you even desire such, in humility, you ask the person. You understand? Like, oh, how did you achieve this? Not like things that you did, not like you're already beefing the person in the corner of your heart and also, yes, it's important to rejoice with the person and cry with the person. Yeah, and how it can be nerve-wracking when people are crying. I had to grow out of that. Yeah, I had to grow out of that. Sometimes people just want to pour out their burdens and in my head I'm like, don't cry. please don't cry. But I think it's just maybe how I learned to grow out of that is just be present for the person. You understand? And don't be under any tension. Don't feel like you need to say the perfect thing because there's nothing perfect when someone is briefing you that you can
And
say.
sometimes crying is therapeutic. Very, very.
Wow, thank you so much, Maz. I'm really so glad for this amazing contributions. And of course, one other thing I just had as my final words that also study the person you're friends with. Study yourself, study the other person, their likes, their dislikes, their personality type, things that appeal to them, things that turn them off. Take time to study by observation and like come in the midst of conversations, you know the things that really appeal to the sense of this person and things you can do. And sometimes you may need to ask really direct questions. It's not how to place. And I also want to have that valuable relationships. There's this thing that you only want to have friends across your field of influence. Like I'm a medical doctor, they're not my friends as to be doctors. I think it is also wise to be open to having friends from other fields to be of help to you. Don't just streamline yourself and say, if you are not a banker because of a banker, or you're not a pastor because of a pastor, you cannot be my friend. Of course, there are things you may need from them, or they may have to supply that may even aid you in your career or your profession. So you may not necessarily have the same career path, and you can still be very good friends. You may not have the same calling or relation with God for those in ministry, and you will still really be very valuable friends, impacting one another. They will still have impact in your life and your destiny. So we must break that stereotype to that of boxing ourselves into a particular mode to feel like. Of course, definitely you cannot even you must have somebody in your field as your friend. That you cannot that can be it is necessary, but don't just build your friendship cycle around those set of people. You also need open-minded people who the most important is that they buy into what you're doing. They're ready to support you. Even if that's not their field, they understand you and they're ready to put in their own effort to help. And the same thing goes to you. You're also willing to replicate the same to them. You also I'm not in their field, so it's none of my business. Though sometimes you have to make your business, make your business your business. So for the business of the friendship to grow and to continue. And let's also know that you must glorify God in your friendship. So it's work basically. So put in the work, enjoy it, have a good time, pray together, play together, and everything together.
Sometimes cry together.
Then also
laugh
build memories
together.
together. It's important
Yeah.
because they usually say that when life, people that had near-death experience, they say that what flashes is not the time that they spend, it's moments that they remember. Yes, so share, those precious moments together. Engage in activities together. Very crucial.
Actually, very good. And distance is actually not a barrier to sustaining friendships too. Distance, you being abroad, it's just about your intentionality and commitment. And of course, you take sacrifice, it's not be convenient because you have to make long calls. You have to catch up with what's going on, and that's really sacrifice because everybody's busy. Just as adults, there's this tendency that we get busy with our lives, we get married, we give birth to children. Just like, all of you be fine. You just hire yourself once a week.
Sacrifice and understanding also.
Yeah,
Understanding when the other person is really busy. And there was a time I was praying that you're already making this thing late. Final words. I was praying that God bless my friends to be as engage them, give them plenty.
Really?
Yes, so that they don't feel like I'm not
Oh my God.
God bless my friends so much that they'll be so busy.
Can you imagine?
That when I tell them I'm busy, they'll say, I understand.
Why do I feel like I need to cut this out?
Lastly,
Why do I feel like
no, they're not cutting it out. Lastly, I just want to end with.
who agrees with this school of thought?
Well, if you do comment, is that?
We'll see it behind the camera. Don't worry, we'll see how.
I know why you're saying this.
Yeah, because I didn't give you one. Yeah, that's true. Marriage and everything, you should know in your friendship. People that get married and you don't ignore your friends, especially if they are single friends. You know, say, I'm now in the class of my own. That's another topic for another day. I'm not in any class.
That's crazy. So I wanted to say something, a particular profound saying that says we are stronger together with the right partnership than we could ever be on our own.
Yeah.
So that's one of the purpose of friendship.
All right, thank you for joining. Hope this blessed you. Go ahead to like, share, and subscribe. And together we are saying Happy International Women's Day. So go ahead and share this with that friend that you love, that woman in your life that inspires you, that is impacting your life, both afar and nearby. Just want to tag them in the comment section, let them know that you love them and you celebrate them. Bye. Bye.